Rotary 7th area focus, which is environment, and it's a very latest focus, and with the Singapore 2030 Green Plan. I mean, it can't be, the timing cannot be better. And Rotarians are people actions. So we want to take actions to create a lasting impact in the world and the community around us.
First of all, we are living here in Singapore. Our borders are completely ocean. It means we have to protect, because global warming will rise the sea level by maybe 1 meter or more, and there will be floods and other things coming with the global warming.
Singapore used to have 14% of its territory covered with mangrove, and now it's shrunk down to less than 0.5%. And so this is a very critical habitat because it's protecting from coastal erosion. So when the waves are coming in, the mangrove basically help to hold the land.
From our research, we found that the mangroves is 10 times more absorbent of carbon compared to forestation. So I think that is a strong proposition for planting mangrove.
When we studied, and together with SIT, we could find a solution which we believe needs to have a lot of research.
Our research work, how to address some of the problems that companies face with regards to transitioning to a green economy. When we look at the education part, our research that we do, how do we try to address some of the issues related to climate change?
I would say there are multiple aspects that makes this mangrove facility really unique. The first is that it's inside of a city, in the middle of the digital district of Punggol. You'll be able to visit and learn about mangrove. Second aspect is that we will have three elements that will be integrated. Outreach, general public can come, education, people can try to do a hands-on workshop, and then research, where we're actually trying to understand what kind of mangrove can help Singapore to be better prepared for sea level rise and climate change.
Looking at the plan, we're going to have a controlled environment where we can actually study how the mangrove can impact the environment, or replanting of mangrove can be beneficial to the environment. And this is a technology that once we have developed and we have proven it, it can be scalable, it can be exported to any part of the world, and that can have a global impact.
I'm very, very excited about this project which we Rotarians are initiating, but not only for us, but to help all people in the world to reach net zero and to protect their environment.
As a university that's going to be situated there, we also thought that this could be very useful in our outreach to the community to bring about the awareness of how mangrove can help address some of the issues and consequences of climate change that we will face.
And this project is also a sustainable project because it's not a one-off, it's going to be a multi-year project. Rotarians, since we are people of action, we come together and make this happen to make a lasting impact to the world in the community where we live.
Sustainability is one of our key education and applied research focus, and the university is committed to supporting Singapore's national priorities by creating innovative solutions that are aligned with the Singapore Green Plan 2030 and the broader UN Sustainable Development Goals.
Rotary Foundation has included the environment as one of our areas of focus where we want Rotarians around the world to do projects and programs to assist our environment so that we preserve it for our grandchildren in the future. And you're taking a great step forward with doing that.
It is really my pleasure to be here with you to witness the starting of a very, very meaningful partnership between the Foundation of Rotary Club Singapore and SIT. I think it's a really wonderful way for two wonderful organizations to come together to forge this synergistic partnership. The ground-up efforts like the MOU that the Foundation of Rotary Club Singapore and SIT are signing today will certainly get us further ahead on our sustainability journey. And I want to assure the friends in Rotary that the establishment of the SIT's mangrove facility is a way to show their commitment.
To the Rotary Clubs in Singapore, thank you very much for coming forward to support the setting up of this mangrove facility in the Singapore Institute of Technology.
Now, first up, I must apologize. I think most of you fellow Singaporeans will know, generally I'm about 10 minutes early. But today, really like what Prof. Chua has mentioned, I rushed here from Istana because the cabinet meeting happens every Thursday. And so we were there since 1:30 and I expected to finish at about 4:30, but we have a lot of discussions about a lot of recent developments, etc. And I had to then, walk up to Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, as well as Senior Minister Lee Hsien Loong, to say that, sorry sir, I have to be excused. I have a very, very important date. Because I agreed to this important event and to witness the signing of MOU between two very distinguished organizations, SIT as well as Rotary. And I said, and he remembers both organizations very fondly. And I tell you why. And some of you will remember, especially Prof. Chua, Prof. Tan will remember. In 2011, when PM Lawrence Wong was in MOE, he was the chair of the Committee on Education, University Education Pathway. And his report, the recommendation in the report, actually led to MOE pushing for the building of Singapore Institute of Technology, SIT. So he remembers SIT very, very fondly and says, yes, please, hurry along. And I also talked about Rotary on many, many occasions, actually, seriously, with Prime Minister Lawrence Wong. Why? Because I know many Rotarians, and I know Singapore, despite us being a little red dot, we are home to more than 1,000 Rotarians, interactors, and Rotaractors. I know because Prof. Chua talks about the various hats I'm wearing to the Rotarians from other parts of the world. It's because Singapore is little red dot. So, I'm not just a senior minister of state in Ministry of Trade Industry, Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth, but also a mayor, but also, as a member of parliament in my constituency, nearby is Bukit Gombak. And I have the pleasure of serving for more than 13 years. I see some of my volunteers here as well, also Rotarian Guangshen, Gimbok. And in 2015, 9 years ago, we were the first community-based interactor club. In 2015, Bukit Gombak set up what we call the BGEIC, Bukit Gombak Eagles Interact Club, for our teenagers who did well, but they want to give back. Service above self, am I right? The motto of Rotary, service above self. And the kids did very well, and you will see many of them. Actually, some of them are doing well in various fields, lawyers, doctors, but the service above self, 3 words, really is their mantra. And after they have, after a certain age, they have to graduate, from their role as interactors. They want to do more. So we set up RACBG, Rotaract Club of Bukit Gombak. And more recently, some of the Rotarians, we've empowered them to co-chair a very, very significant project in the community to be involved in giving back. So really, congratulations to SIT and Rotary. Very happy to be here. And a very good afternoon to Professor Chua Ki Chang, President of SIT, and of course, very good afternoon to Professor Tan Tiam Soon. Both are very good friends. Professor Tan is the founding president of SIT. I know because before coming back to the Ministry of Trade and Industry, actually I spent 5 years in MOE. And I told Prof. Chua I should do a little pitch for SIT to our Rotarians here. If you want to see where the Mangrove will be, don't worry. Although we are in Dover, not in Punggol now, you can almost vision it. Later on after this event, I will personally be your tour guide. Right? We will venture about 10 meters away. There's a lovely, lovely building model of the SIT at Punggol. You will see, the riverbank, and you can envisage, how the mangrove will be thriving. And a warm welcome to all our Rotarians from various parts of the world, in particular, Mr. Mario Cesar Martins de Camargo, President nominee of Rotary International, and Mr. Barry Russ Sin, Trustee Chair, the Rotary Foundation. Thank you for your very inspiring speech. And very good afternoon and warm welcome to Mr. Mark Daniel Maloney, Trustee Chair-elect of the Rotary Foundation. I want to say a big thank you to you because I remember in 2017 you led a very big team to come to Singapore to survey whether can we play host to Rotary International Convention. So thank you for giving Singapore a chance to host the Rotary International Convention. To those of us who may not be aware, but we are very happy to host this very, very prestigious Rotary International Convention. It's happening from 25th to 29th this month. And I'm very happy to be able to be here for the MOU signing. Deputy Prime Minister Gan Kim-yong is currently in Japan for the Nikkei Forum, but he told me he will dash back so that he can join you on the 26th, I believe, in the morning. And of course, Mr. Chiu Kim-bok, Board of Directors, Rotary International, and 2024 Rotary International Head of Organizing Committee Chair. I know he and his team work very hard to make this possible. Ladies and gentlemen, it is really my pleasure to be here with you to witness later on the starting of a very, very meaningful partnership between the Foundation of Rotary Club Singapore and SIT. I think it's a really wonderful way for two wonderful organizations to come together to forge this synergistic partnership. Your cooperation will certainly advance the use of Singapore's mangrove in tackling climate challenges. I must tell Mr. Barry Racine that I did a bit of homework. In order to do this very short remarks, I had to go back and do revision of science. But I didn't realize that the oyster has a part to play. So I think this is really why, Prof. Chua and Prof. Tan, you agree. That's why we embark on Skills Future Lifelong Learning. And like what Mr. Barry Racine has reminded us, climate change is indeed, unfortunately, making its impact felt in many ways. We are all grappling with higher temperature and heavier rainfall. Rising sea levels will also, unfortunately, have significant implications on Singapore, a very small island state. So therefore, it is very critical for us to address these challenges collectively, to come together to really maximize the synergies. And I think you have heard about Singapore Green Plan that was talked about. And you have heard Prime Minister Lawrence Wong 2 years ago talked about how Singapore will achieve our net zero by 2050, in fact, peak before 2030. So the Singapore Green Plan is really a whole-of-nation movement that aims to achieve our net zero emission goal by 2050. And I think many of you will agree that Singapore, though small, I think we are known for a few brand attributes: integrity, quality, reliability. So you can trust that when the Singapore government say that we will want to achieve net zero emission by 2050 and achieve peak before 2030, when we say that, it means that we will put in place intermediate milestones to make sure that we get there. And together, we can certainly accelerate our efforts to mitigate climate change, like what Mr. Barry Racine has told us in his speech earlier. And indeed, everyone really has a role to play. So really, the ground-up efforts like the MOU that the Foundation of Rotary Club Singapore and SIT are signing today will certainly get us further ahead on our sustainability journey. And I'm very, very confident that your partnership and commitment to forging a greener Singapore will certainly contribute towards the development of a sustainable and livable city. Now, in fact, next month, Singapore will host the World City Summit. And rest assured, sustainability will be really one of the key topics and the mainstay of the summit. So again, on behalf of the Singapore government, I want to say a big thank you to the Rotarians for your very strong support and wide range of activities that strengthen the conservation and protection of our natural resources. Now, your collaboration with SIT will not only advance our ecology, sustainability, but also foster greater harmony between communities and the environment. And I also want to use this platform to say a big thank you to both Prof. Chua, Prof. Tan, Prof. John Tong, and of course and also Mr. Bernard Nee. All are good friends that I've known from my 5-year stint in MOE. And I said this is the 6th autonomous university, and I'm really proud of them because they have a very, very unique, what we call USP, unique selling proposition. Thus far, this is the only autonomous university to offer work-study degree. And I'm spotlighting Yvonne because I think, in Yvonne you see an undergraduate who is very poised, who's very confident. And these are the attributes that you will see in the SIT undergraduates and graduates, such that even before they graduate, they are already offered jobs. Yeah. And so really I want to use this platform to commend SIT for making sustainability a key pillar in your teaching, research, and facilities. Now, we talked about the new waterfront campus, so we are giving the Rotarians another reason to come back to Singapore. Please do come back and witness for yourself. Now, the new waterfront campus in Punggol Digital District that's located just across Coney Island and only a 10 minutes lovely boat ride away from Pulau Ubin is really an ideal location for this important project to conserve mangroves and to rejuvenate our environment. And I want to assure the friends in Rotary that the establishment of the SIT's mangrove facility is a way to show their commitment, and it will help to do a few things. Number one, to preserve the genetic diversity of our mangroves, and number two, to reintroduce extinct species, as well as to function as a hub for public education and outreach on sustainability. So we want to take Mr. Barry Racine's suggestion and weave in the oyster in one of these three pillars. And more people, I think through this very important project, and it's not just MOU, but we're translating into learnings, into a facility, so that more people, especially our students and young Singaporeans, will become better aware of the critical role mangroves play in environmental protection. I think there's a way to go in raising awareness. So your joint efforts will certainly inspire future generations to become better stewards of our planets and protectors of Singapore's future. So again, I look forward to seeing your work bear fruit. And again, I would like to extend my heartiest congratulations to SIT, to Rotary, to the Foundation of Rotary Clubs of Singapore on achieving this very, very important sustainability milestone in conjunction to the Rotary International Convention happening here. Then I'm very certain that this collaboration will shore up our green defenses and also boost our island states' resilience. And for that, on behalf of Singapore and Singaporeans, we want to say thank you for this very meaningful project. And on that note, I want to wish the Foundation of Rotary Singapore, Foundation of Rotary Club Singapore, and all the Rotarians a very, very successful Rotary International Convention happening from the 25th to 29th of this month. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good morning, Senior Minister, dignitaries, fellow Rotarians, guests, congratulations. It truly is an exciting moment, and I congratulate you for what you've accomplished to come together on such a visionary idea. We all know there is climate change. We all know that our waters are rising and they're getting hotter, and we need to do something about it, and you've taken an active role to take that next step. Rotary Foundation has included the environment as one of our areas of focus where we want Rotarians around the world to do projects and programs to assist our environment so that we preserve it for our grandchildren in the future. And you're taking a great step forward with doing that. I come from the Bahamas, so this is very personal to me. My country is only 3 feet high. I'm going to be borrowing information from you as you do your research so that we could bring it home to our country. Right now, the Rotary Foundation works with the Commonwealth Secretariat in Commonwealth countries around the world, and we work in other countries doing programs that are suitable for that particular country. For you to do something specific here to help Singapore will mean so much to countries around the world. And that is going to be a big part of developing a different world so that we make it better for the future. As we know, mangroves, they help with our carbon issues. I would ask you to think about, as part of your research, throwing some oysters in the water with the mangroves. I know that sounds crazy, but as I understand it, oysters filter a significant amount of water, and when they're with the mangroves, it helps the mangroves to flourish, and it provides us that filtration we need. So perhaps that could be part of the research. But I congratulate you. I thank you for what you're doing. I think it's a fantastic program coming together with Singapore Institute for Technology. Clearly, a great organization, moving to nice new headquarters right on the water. What a great opportunity for you. And for the Foundation of Rotary Clubs here to join you in this effort makes the trustees of our Rotary Foundation very proud, because we know you're taking that next step. That's visionary. That's going to make a difference to you and make a difference to our world. And that's why the Foundation of Rotary International exists, so that we can make our world a better place. You're doing that. I congratulate you, and I thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Low Yen Ling, Senior Minister of State for Culture, Community and Youth, and Senior Minister of State for Trade and Industry. I think they forgot that you also have a mayor role. Mr. Mario Cesar Martin de Camargo, sorry if I have not pronounced your name correctly, President Nominee Rotary International, Mr. Barry Racine, Trustee Chair, Rotary Foundation, Mr. Chiu Gimbok, Board of Directors, Rotary International, and 2024 Rotary International Head of Organizing Committee Chair, distinguished Rotarians, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the Singapore Institute of Technology. We are very grateful to Senior Minister of State Ms. Loh for gracing this occasion. On the way in, she told me she's actually in the midst of a cabinet meeting and she had to excuse herself to come here. So thank you very much. And of course, we are very glad that all of you are here with us today to witness the signing or the seeding of a very exciting future, a Mangrove Conservatory at the Singapore Institute of Technology, which has been made possible, of course, by the generous support of Rotarians who are very passionate about addressing the causes of climate change and who are dedicated to reducing its effects on environmental degradation. On behalf of the university, I also wish to express our grateful thanks to the Foundation of Rotary Clubs Singapore, which has committed a term gift of 680,000 Singapore dollars to seed fund this mangrove facility, which aims to preserve a wide array of mangrove genetic diversity, bring back some extinct, if I may be clearer, extinct from Singapore, mangrove species, and educate young Singaporeans on the importance of mangroves in a climate challenged future. We also wish to thank NParks for giving us the permission to build this special facility at NParks Punggol Heritage Trail, which is close to our new Punggol campus. Just to let you know, we are actually in the midst of moving to Punggol. We currently operate as a university out of 6 different locations, and we will all come together when we are all in Punggol campus. And hopefully, you can come to Singapore again for a conference in the near future, and we'll be very happy to host all of you Rotarians in our new Punggol campus. The Mangrove Conservatory will sit on an area that measures just a little over 1,000 square meters, but it is designed to tackle some big climate challenges. Well, the sea is rising, as we all know, and mangroves are known to be able to protect our shorelines against storm and erosion. Mangroves also act as a refuge and nursery for biodiversity, and as a carbon sink that is up to 10 times more impactful than that of a tropical rainforest. Recognizing the importance of mangroves, the conservatory is conceptualized to grow genetically diverse mangroves to improve Singapore's climate resilience and adaptation. Through research, education, and outreach, we hope this conservatory will help bring back species of mangrove that we have lost, find mangrove species that will help protect Singapore against a rising sea level and sequester blue carbon. Our plan for the first 3 years is to build a mangrove conservatory in Punggol. Beyond this initial phase, we look forward to the continued support of Rotarians and other like-minded benefactors to enable us to test our innovations in mangrove management in Coney Island. Coney Island is a little island that is just off our campus. In fact, we can see Coney Island from our new campus. So, to try to improve mangrove management in Coney Island, which is right at the doorstep, as I said, of our new Punggol campus home. Finally, we hope to be able to scale our project for a meaningful impact on Singapore and the region. Well, while we are starting small, one might say that this Singapore Institute of Technology Mangrove Conservatory is a dream project that checks many boxes for our university. To begin with, sustainability is one of our key education and applied research focus, and the university is committed to supporting Singapore's national priorities by creating innovative solutions that are aligned with the Singapore Green Plan 2030 and the broader UN Sustainable Development Goals. Further, the conservatory will add to realizing our new Punggol campus as a hub of knowledge, innovation, and test bedding. It will enrich our students' authentic learning experiences while providing fertile ground for impactful applied research and collaboration with appointed experts, community volunteers, as well as various environmental and conservation agencies. Finally, let me conclude by saying just how honored and excited we are to partner the Foundation of Rotary Club Singapore on this initiative, and I'm sure will contribute significantly to Singapore's effort in mitigating the effects of climate change while enhancing our biodiversity. Thank you very much.
Rotary 7th area focus, which is environment, and this is a very latest focus, and with the Singapore 2030 Green Plan. I mean, it can't be, the timing cannot be better. And Rotarians are people actions. So we want to take actions to create a lasting impact in the world and the community around us. So if this is successful, I think with the Rotary nationality, we can spread to any country in the world. There are many countries who are in need of such a initiative, so as to speak, to do something for the climate change. There are many ways to protect the environment. Of course, we can reduce plastic waste and do something in that area, or even to travel less or go on the EV, but it's not going to change all the lives 100% to 360 degrees. You still have to carry on with your life, but we have to find ways to absorb the carbon that is still being produced. From our research, we found that the mangroves is 10 times more absorbent of carbon compared to forestation. So I think that is a very, very strong proposition for planting mangrove, because the whole world, you can see that we're surrounded by water, and then within the countries and continents, there are lakes and waterway. I think those will be the unique areas that we can plant and not taking up the economic valuable land to plant them. Protecting the environment is important, but we have to do it today. I mean, for our children, children, and for future generations. So, and this project is also a sustainable project, because it's not a one-off. It's going to be a multi-year project. And for the sake of our children and the future generation, I hope Rotarians, since we are people of action, we come together and make this happen to make a lasting impact to the world, in the community where we live.
True Rotarians, we are global, and we are all breathing the same air around the world, and our 50,000 clubs in the world are all coming together, take action to protect the environment and to reach net zero almost now instead of in the future. So net zero for us means that the adding of greenhouse gas into the atmosphere and the absorption of our nature of greenhouse gas needs to come in a balance. And this balance can be reached on the one side over switching from gas and oil into solar and wind, but it can also be reached in planting trees and protecting our environment over removing greenhouse gas out of the air. And as Rotarians, we believe that we have to do this now, because it gives hope in the world for our children, for our next generations, and it gives also good business, it creates jobs, and it gives us the possibility to give back something to our society. Yes, first of all, we are living here in Singapore, and not only the Earth is 70% ocean, but our borders are completely ocean. It means we have to protect, because global warming will rise the sea level by maybe 1 meter or more, and there will be floods and other things coming with the global warming. So we have to protect our country, we have to protect our city, but not only we, all our Rotarians, most are facing ocean in their countries. So what we want to reach is not only removing greenhouse gas from the air, because we want to have net zero in one of the most advanced cities in the world. We want to reach net zero as a role model for other countries, but we also want to protect. And when you look on protection, you can build concrete walls, but concrete walls will never reach this target, because concrete walls will not remove carbon or greenhouse gas from the atmosphere. Therefore, when we studied, and together with SIT, one of the leading technology universities in the world, we could find a solution which we believe needs to have a lot of research, because it can solve two problems in once. Mangrove trees can absorb 10 times more greenhouse gas as rainforest trees, for example. So we are able to remove greenhouse gas, but on the other side, we can protect our borders, our country from flood and from rising sea level. So it's a wonderful thing, because the alternative is concrete, and concrete will also pollute our environment in the protection. Therefore, I'm very, very excited about this project which we Rotarians are initiating, but not only for us, but to help all people in the world to reach net zero and to protect their environment. Yeah, as an entrepreneur, I was successful. The society gave me a lot in the past, and now it's time to giving back to the society, to be active in contributing to the society where we are living in. And as Rotarian, we see it in a global. We are not a political, we are not a religious organization, we are number one NGO, and our job is to look for our next generations and to solve problems. But as a kind of business, as an entrepreneur, I was in business, but we as Rotarian understand business as the science serving humans. And here we can serve best, and one serves best, profits most. So we believe there's a huge return for everybody who joins this. And I think in this part of my life, it's important that we are solving this problem, because we owe it to our children and grandchildren that this problem is solved, that they can look forward not only with technology and in partnership with technology research, but also that they could look forward in a better world, like we could have a better world provided by our parents. Yes, I think this project has multiple advantage. On the one side, it educates all the people, all the guests in Singapore. On the other side, it helps to educate our students to understand how nature can help to to reach our net zero target. On a third part, we need to make research not only using trees or mangrove trees. We have to understand to simulate future, because if the sea level is rising, if the floods are bigger, there are 70 species of mangrove, and we need to figure out in which constellation we can protect our country, protect our borders, protect our environment in the best way. Because at the end, we want to reach the best storage, the best removement of carbon on the one side, and on the other side, we want to protect our country and our border in the best way, that our people can live safely and in a good environment. So for this we need research, and therefore we need to work together with university. On the one side, we are initiating as Rotarians this project. On the other side, we want to research and to find better solutions, right solutions, and therefore to initiate this project for us as a global Rotary project or as a kind of district project where we are integrate many clubs. It's very important, and it fits 100% in our target to reach net zero now and not in a long future.
Well, Rotary started to include environmental issues as a seventh area of focus about 2 years ago. And in our club, back then we started having an environmental director as the portfolio to further this cause. There's been a lot of projects that we talk about, but it's a very broad issue. So I think so far we have not really have a good focus on what we can do. We do a lot of things like beach cleaning. We do promote plant-based diet and stuff like that. But this time round, I think this is something that's concrete and definite that we can actually put our heads together and bring it to fruition and then make a positive change. Looking at the plan, we're going to have a controlled environment where we can actually study how the mangrove can impact the environment, or replanting of mangrove can be beneficial to the environment. And this is a technology that once we have developed and we have proven it, it can be scalable, it can be exported to any part of the world, and that can have a global impact. On a personal level, okay, I have to admit that until not too long ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, I'm a bit of a climate change denier. But it's only with more research and more reading up that I understand the impact of the environmental change, climate change. And the Rotary now gives me an opportunity to play a part in something that can have a wide impact to how we can change or reverse whatever damage that all this environmental damage has caused and impact on our lives, rising seawater, climate, and all that. So personally, I feel that I'm very fortunate to be part of this project, that I'm now able to be in a position whereby I can have a direct input into how to make this a positive change at a world level. Go and read up more about what are the issues facing our climate change in the world today, and maybe zoom in on how the mangrove can actually help. And for something like the mangrove, which is a very simple plant, it can have a huge impact. And this is a situation whereby we can have something that is easily achievable, and yet it can have a great impact in reversing whatever climate damage there is. And we all need to play a part, and we only can play a part if we find out more about it and educate ourselves as to what is the damage and how we can remedy it.